nature. I'm just going to give you a heads up of the video. I'm using bullet points to try and explain myself even more, because of course this is a complex subject for me. So I'm using bullet points so I can answer the questions, but I'm answering them, okay? So just a heads up and some context for the video. Hi, good morning, good night, good afternoon. My name is Valeria Rodriguez, and we are going to explain or answer the questions given to us by the professor. So we're going to start with number 1 that says, how do you explain, what do you think happens with the phenomenon of random number generators being affected by intention and attention? Well, the reality is that we don't know for sure, because it's a strange phenomenon, and some scientists believe that our minds might be slightly influenced by random machines. And so it's a complex idea that I really do not understand that much. But the theories include the possibility of that humans' consciousness might generate electromagnetic field affecting the RNGs, yes, results, or that the mind interacts with the RNGs through the non-physical dimensions. However, none of these can be proved because they need more research. Continuing with question number 2, we have, with the quantum mechanics principle of observation and the collapse of the wave function in mind, what do you think the relationship between attention, intention, and the act of observation is? Well, in quantum physics, it's a fact that observing something really affects it. So measuring and observing the quantum system changes its state. This is known as the collapse of the wave function. So focusing our attention on the RNGs might act like a kind of observation, moving the RNGs into a certain direction. So the idea of our intention and attention could influence in the result of the RNG by collapsing the wave function towards a specific state. Yeah. So continuing with question number 3, it says, given the evidence seems to suggest that plants also influence random processes, what do you think consciousness is? So if plants can be also affected by this randomness, that changes things. So it means that consciousness might be more than just thinking brains. So it could be a part of the fundamental of life, of living things, or even the universe itself. So consciousness could be the system ability to experience the world and have subjective states like sensations, emotions, or even thoughts. So plants impacting the RNGs suggests that they possess some kind of level of consciousness, but in a very different way of ours. So it's not the same, but they have consciousness in some type of level. With the question number 4, we have, what is the difference between life, consciousness, and intelligence? Well, life is mostly defined by the ability to grow, reproduce, and adapt to the different kind of environments that one might interact with. And the consciousness, on the other hand, is the ability to be aware of ourselves and the surroundings. And intelligence is the ability to learn, to solve problems, and reason things. In a much simpler way, life is the fundamental process of living. The consciousness is a subjective experience, so it depends on the perspective one sees it. And the intelligence is the ability to interact with the world in a complex way. With question number 5, we have, is the consciousness exclusive to humans? Well, as the video says, maybe not, probably not. So the video suggests that plants might have a kind of consciousness too, and animals, of course, have their own consciousness in their own way, in their own levels. So consciousness likely exists on the spectrum, with a variety of complexities in different organisms, and so humans might have a particularly developed kind of consciousness, but maybe other forms of living things might experience it differently because they live their lives in a different kind of way, not as humans do. So consciousness comes with some kind of different variations depending on the level we're seeing it. For question number 6, we have, if meditation seems to have a more pronounced effect on the likelihood of RNGs being affected, how do you think meditation and consciousness are linked? Maybe meditation might calm the mind and make it easier to focus on the observation on the RNGs. By reducing distractions and quieting the thought flow, meditation could maybe allow us to access a more focused and receptive state of consciousness, and making it easier for us to be influenced by the RNGs. So, additionally to this, meditation is linked to increasing the gamma brainwaves associated with expanded awareness and clarity. So, these things suggest that meditation could enhance our ability to interact with the reality in some unconventional ways, possibly including influencing the RNGs. Number 7 says, if gamma brainwaves are associated with heightened states of consciousness and mental coherence, how do you imagine technology and artificial intelligence could assist humanity in enhancing these states of consciousness? So technology and AI could play a significant role in helping us reach higher levels of consciousness. So, for example, we have the brainwave monitoring devices could track our brainwaves in real time and provide feedback on the gamma levels. And the AI could analyze that information and give us personalized exercises or techniques to boost our gamma waves and improve the state of our consciousness. And even more, virtual and augmented reality could create immersive experiences designed to stimulate the gamma waves and promote some consciousness experience for us to practice. And lastly, we have question number 8 that says, if you had the ability to enhance your levels of consciousness, would you do it? Do you think it's possible? Maybe for me, if it happened to one day to another, I wouldn't do it. Maybe. Because we might not, well, I might not be ready for that kind of consciousness. Maybe my brain couldn't process it. So for me it's a no right now. But if you're talking about evolution, if we're talking about evolution and we're talking that in 100 years from now on, I would like to have that kind of consciousness. Maybe yes, because my brain could be more prepared for that kind of consciousness, because maybe it could allow us to access to new ways of thinking, feeling, and perceiving the world. So yeah, right now no. In the evolution, maybe yes. And do you think it's possible? Yes, of course it's possible, but we're not going to see that happening right now. Sometime near us. So, but it's possible. Of the video, I'm sorry because of my faces I made thinking. That's the way I think in English. And also another thing I already thought about before this class and this assignment. I already thought about those kind of things of consciousness, not that deep as I'm doing it right now, but I did before. So yeah, I kind of knew that plants are and other living things had some kind of consciousness but in a different way. So maybe our consciousness is not the same as the, if they do exist, as the aliens do. So maybe we see our the consciousness of an animal or a plant the same way other kinds of living things see our consciousness. So for us, maybe for them, maybe we are nothing compared to them. So I just wanted to say that because I saw a video about that subject some days ago. So yeah, I already thought about that. I already have thought about that. And yeah, consciousness. We all have consciousness, and maybe non-living things in some kind of weird way, but maybe they could have, because even maybe light could have consciousness in another kind of level or in another kind of dimension. I don't know, but